Yeah, you know what it is. Welcome to the best coast. Yo, it's Bronze Age nerd with that collecting elite. Big B McFly steady bringing the vintage heat. Pull up a seat, we diving in the stacks. Silver to the bronze, got the knowledge on tap. From Kirby's Kings to the mutants, wow. We breaking it down in that laid back style. So grab your snacks, let the panels unfold. This is comic book chilling with the stories we told. Comic book vibes, we flipping them pages. Legends and lore from all the ages. Golden to the modern, we talk that news. With Big B McFly and the nerd cut loose. Yo, you tune into that Bronze Age flow. Where comics live and legends grow. Big B McFly in the cut, let's fly. Best coast, baby, comics are what saved me. Big B, yeah. Baby, comics are what saved me.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to our kind of pre-spooky spectacular episode, because I put a weird background on the back of Best Coast Comics. Week of Halloween coming up here. I'm here because unfortunately I haven't won McDonald's McMillions or anything like that yet. So I figured I should come here and talk to you guys all about some comic books. I'm joined as always by my co-host,
Big B McFly, the comic guy.
Big B McFly in the house. What's up, everybody? This is Best Coast Comics. We have a really special guest on the show tonight. You know, we did a Kickstarter preview last week, and I think that got a lot of good reception from everybody. Thanks for all the positive comments. We actually have an awesome guest this week. We're going to be talking to Choi from 24/7 Comics about the Evermind Complete Collection Kickstarter that's going on. But first, before we get to that, and before we say hello to everybody in the chat, I did want to take a second to announce a pretty big deal that we do around here every year. We do Heroes for Heroes the last few years. And coming up in just a few weeks, we're going to do our final event for 2025. So going live, probably around, I'm guessing 1 p.m. Pacific is kind of what we've been doing. Haven't set the time yet. But on November 22nd, which is a Saturday, which is the Saturday before Thanksgiving, we'll be going live. Big B and I will be at the Big B Burrow or the Big B Cave, whatever you want to call it. Together, we're going to do a little bit more setup and prep and try to make things a little bit more cohesive this time. We have kind of some new equipment we're going to try out, all that stuff. We're going to have the last of the donated comics, original art pages, and original art, some of which actually was donated by Carl, who will be joining us here in a little bit. So all the stuff you've been waiting for, if you've been waiting for any items and we didn't run it because we ran out of time or whatever in the last auction, we are going to run it. So everything that we have set aside for 2025 is going to be ran. If you are interested in sending in, like if you have some key comic books or some some art or something like that you do want to send in, that you want to make sure it gets part of the Heroes for Heroes for 2025, all you have to do is get in touch with myself or with Big B, and we'll get you handled on where to ship that to or how to get that to us, or we can get some good pictures and then you can ship it to the winner if you're somebody that we've worked with in the past. I do want to just show you the page real fast. This is the campaign wrap up that we're doing for the 2025 campaign. It'll roll over. We are at $56.79 of our $5,000 goal, which is awesome. We hit our goal, but we'd still like to add some more money. If you guys don't know or don't remember, all of the profit is directly donated to Mission 22, and they work to help prevent veterans from dealing with mental health crises. And they also work with their families very closely. It's a very celebrated charity out of Oregon. And it's just a really awesome cause that we love to support. So if you want to be part of Heroes for Heroes, whether you just want to watch, support by sharing streams, stuff like that, or donating items or donating to the cause, we'd love to see you participate this year. And you can always get in touch with me or Big B if you want some details on how you can help out and how you can participate. So please check that out. We'd love to see you. November 22nd is the date. Get it added to your calendar. Should have the show scheduled tomorrow afternoon, and we can get you all the information to share that stream out to all your friends and all your comic book groups. We'd really appreciate it. Cool. I'm gonna handle the first few people in chat here. I know we got some regular commenters. I'd rather talk to y'all right now, right before we bring our guest in, because we're having a lot of cool stuff to talk about with our guest. GT Key Comic was our first commenter, got that gold medal. What's up, GT? Richard coming in with the silver, the worst medal of all. I love silver. Silver is my favorite medal, so that's great. But I mean, we all know the most important one and that is the bronze medal, which Preston takes down. Preston is our third comment. Something is killing the children news. Does that mean my 8th printing of issue 1 will be worth more than a Dark Hawk #1 soon? Now, that's a really good question. That's, I know Dark Hawk saw a little bit of a bump recently, so I'm curious about that. We do have Derek in the house. What's up, Derek? How you doing? Thanks for saying hello on several different channels. We still got Igor. Igor, what's up, man? Good to see you in the show. Commenting on several different channels. I wanted to mention that real fast. I think there's 24/7 Comics right there in the chat, as well as Metal Elf. We are streaming on Bronze Age Nerds channel. We're streaming on Big B McFly's channel, and we're streaming over on the EXP on their YouTube page, their Facebook, and their Twitch and Instagram Live. So go check those out. Awesome Sauce Radio. What is up, Adam? Thanks for joining the show. Good to see you, brother. And Eddie Von B, what is up, man? Happy Halloween to you as well. Well, without further ado, I did mention that our guest is somebody who has helped out with Heroes for Heroes in the past. You've seen him on my show before, along with Sean Chen and Daniel Wu, who are the creators of Evermind, which is an awesome comic book that we're going to be talking about here in a little bit. Everybody give a nice, big, warm welcome to our guest, Carl Choi from 24/7 Comics. What's up, Carl?
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me, as always. It's always good to see you, Bronze. What's up, fellas? How's it going?
Oh, man, it's so good to have you. You're always welcome on the show. I love having you. You know, one of the friends of the channel for sure.
Yes.
Actually, have you met Carl yet? Have you guys had a chance
I don't
to
think
meet?
we've actually had the pleasure of meeting yet. Yeah.
Okay,
So.
there we go.
had a chance to meet. Great to meet you.
Nice. Nice. Well, we're doing the introductions tonight. Hopefully, we'll introduce some people as well to the awesome Kickstarter you guys have running right now. Actually, gonna get that set up so I can share it so everybody can check out what we're talking about here. So while I'm getting that set up, Carl, how you been doing, man? How's the campaign going?
I've been on the road, to be honest with you. It's been really, really a hustle. We went all out for this one. Campaign's been going okay. I'm not sure if you guys heard, but the day before we launched our campaign, we got an email from Kickstarter saying that they were going on strike. And so because of just pay discrepancy between, I think, the higher upper levels and middle management, etc., most of the team at Kickstarter went on strike. So only the kind of department heads are still there, but most of the kind of blue collar folks that usually help with a lot of the campaigns and marketing, shared posts, all that kind of stuff, they were just off. And so we've been on our own, but it doesn't really discourage us. It makes us work harder and makes us realize, like, community members like yourself is what makes being comics great. And so it's been awesome. A lot of folks been supportive. So I took, I reached out to you, Bronze, and thanks for having me. Yeah. And then Sean was over at another show tonight, and then Swagger. I mean, we're just all taking turns hitting everything and everywhere. So everything everywhere all at once.
Yeah. Nice. Well, real fast, I know our producer in the back there did, Jay, shout out to Jay, did share the link for the Kickstarter. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up on the screen here. We'll give everybody some of the gorgeous art to look at and some of the tiers to check out while we kind of talk over going through the campaign. So is this the third Kickstarter now for Evermind?
This is the second, actually.
The second, okay, cool.
The second half of Evermind, which took a little bit longer. Obviously, our last Evermind campaign was November 2023. And then it took about 2 years to get the second half together because Sean, admittedly, on another interview I was listening to today, needed more time to figure out the story. And so by procrastinating, he had a lot more time to do that. So I think he spent about a year working on other projects, including Conan and a few other books. And then he came back to Evermind and figured it out. And so, yeah, man, I was totally blown away when I read issue 4 because he like took it to the next level. Meaning, I really feel like this is magnum opus. The first 3 issues was such a setup, but once issue 4 hit, it just goes bananas. So I'm so excited to read issues 5 and 6 as well. But I haven't gotten there yet either. He's finished on line work. We're still waiting for colors, and we're waiting for basically lettering.
Okay, nice. So I know, we had you, or actually, I guess the first time we just had Sean and Daniel Wu on to talk about it, the first to go around, and then I think we had you on for another project. But for people that may not be familiar, if you didn't check out Evermind the first go around, can you kind of tell everybody a little bit about the actual story of the comic book, because it's definitely a very unique story. And then we'll kind of get into a little bit about how it kind of all got started, because I think that's also a great story too.
Sure. The story is about a world-renowned scientist named Lucas Zhang, and he is a very ambitious man. He figured out a way to transfer consciousness into androids. And there is a backstory as to why he has a chip on his shoulder and he wants to like fight for fame, right? So because of that ambition, he will get money from anywhere and everywhere to accomplish his goals. And so he ends up doing a deal with the kind of mogul of the amusement park industry and works under him. But then this mogul takes that technology and resell it to the American government for the military purposes. And so when those two worlds collide, his daughter, who is also a bit of a anti-ethics, kind of a ethical journalist, which is completely against everything her dad's doing, decided to get in the mix of it all, and then she ends up, spoiler alert, getting caught up in the crossfires literally, and then Lucas is forced to transfer her consciousness into an android, and then in order to protect her, he does the same for himself into a mech gorilla, which is like a theme park gorilla. And so that's kind of what the journey is. It's a lot of mech battles, a lot of fights, a lot of action, but at the heart of it all is a father and daughter story. And it's kind of like a broken relationship on its way to redemption. It's a beautiful story.
It really is. And I think I've kind of I've said this before in a couple of different places. To me, it's a little under the radar still, and I think it's a story that a lot of people are going to really like, because it's not just great art, which it is. It's not just a great story, which it is, but it's also like a cool concept it kind of touches on some of the stuff that is really popular right now in media. Like, there's little echoes of things like Black Mirror, echoes of things like Westworld, that sort of stuff in here. But it also has, like you said, it has at its heart like a really good, compelling story about the father and daughter relationship. And it has, some of that sort of questionable science and all that kind of stuff going on too. And it's kind of the whole package when you really start to sit down and read it. And I think that's just something that people that may not necessarily be digging a lot of the original stories out there right now are really going to fall in love with if they actually check it out.
And I see Comic Tropes in the comments, who just had Sean Chen on tonight. Thank you very much, Chris. Again, the comic book community is freaking amazing.
Yeah.
And Sean Chen is the co-creator, artist, and writer for it. And his partnership with Daniel has been amazing, because I think Sean initially was nervous about the writing part, but Daniel has been involved with all types of mediums. Mm-hmm. And he really allows Sean to world build, but said, look, at the end of the day, it's really about the characters. And Sean literally took kind of took Daniel's life, and there was a pivotal moment when Daniel actually had to pick family over his career. And then because he did that, there's a big question mark on if did he give up a lot of opportunities or whatnot. And then fast forward, his father and everything kind of wrapped up. His father passed away, and he came back to entertainment, and and he took the time to also take care of his daughter. And so Sean was like, man, what if Daniel didn't do that? What would that path look like? And he basically based this character on if Daniel chases ambition over choosing his family. So it's a lot of real testimony to it all too, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And for those that may not be familiar, Sean Chen is just an absolute powerhouse artist. He did a lot of great stuff, especially I think most people might be familiar with the stuff at Marvel. He did a lot of the marketing art and kind of the style guide type stuff that Marvel would end up using. And of course, he did a lot of great actual titles too, stuff like on Wolverine and Iron Man, and then some great stuff too over at like Valiant and some other stuff as well. Of course, quite a career.
I mean, 2.5 years on Iron Man, a year and a half on Wolverine is no joke.
Yeah,
and
yeah, for sure.
That, Ryan the Future Force, that's my first exposure, and that comic sold 900,000 copies. So he was a child star, but always stayed low key. He wasn't really out there, and I think in this kind of modern day social media, I think now he's able to be out there and take interviews and have conversations. While in the past, you're really you kind of have to fight your way in the corporate world to kind of get your voice out there, right? And so I think he came at a time when the image guys had just taken off. And so I think the corporate powers to be had to be a lot more careful as to who they actually, give the power to or give like the spotlight to, right? And so I think for many years, they actually try to keep the artists behind the scenes and put the writers out there. And ultimately the writers were the ones that are like getting a lot of the promotions, especially after the whole image thing happened. But I think it's come all the way around where a lot of creators are kind of known to be needed as part of the marketing campaign for audience to really connect with it.
For sure. And then of course the other side of the team, we mentioned him already, Daniel Wu, an actor that a lot of people I'm sure will recognize from shows like Into the Badlands and just a lot of great stuff too. Also a big part of the title here and a big part of the promoting and everything like that. He's a great force behind the book. So that's really cool. Bob Layton said that Sean was one of the artists that Valiant recruited that was ready for prime time day one. That's really awesome.
Yeah,
I mean, it's cool. I mean, we had a chance to interview Bob, which was awesome. But what's interesting when you get to know Sean a bit, he's super shy about it, so I'll brag for him. But it was David Mazzucchelli who actually, brought Sean into the fold. Like he was his first mentor, and it was at San Diego Comic-Con where he was with Mazzucchelli at his table when Valiant came to approach him and said, "Hey, David, we want you to work with Valiant. We're starting this new thing." And David was, "Oh, I'm not into it anymore, but you should work with him, Sean. He's ready to go." So Sean took his portfolio over to the Valiant table, and Barry Windsor Smith was the guy reviewing portfolios. And so Barry Windsor Smith saw Sean and says, "All right, you're coming with us this week." So he recruited him. Barry mentored Sean, and then when Barry left, Bob took over. So that's really like the whole story. So it's really funny because I'm a huge Barry Windsor Smith fan, and I remember I would buy certain pages here and there, and he'd be like, "Oh yeah, I remember when I was at Barry's house, he pulled out the envelope when he was looking at it. He actually didn't really like that page because of XYZ." I was like, "What the heck?" So he was like hanging out with Barry Windsor Smith's house all the time at his apartment, just hanging out and drawing with the guy. So yeah, definitely go all day long. Barry Windsor Smith. Yeah,
absolutely. That is so cool.
Yeah. Right on.
A lot of cool stuff.
And by the way, I mentioned earlier that Carl has been amazing in helping out the Heroes for Heroes charity that we do for Mission 22. And one of the things he's donated very generously was several pages from Sean. And one of my favorite things about Sean is every page, every original art piece you ever see from Sean, on the backside, you'll always see like the preliminary work and the layouts and him kind of like working through the process of what he's going to do on the finals on the other side. And it's just a really fun thing to see, because every page you get from Sean, you're not only kind of getting this awesome original art, which it is, but you're also getting like all this prelim work, and you're kind of being able to study like what he was thinking as he was kind of getting into getting ready to draw the final product. It's an awesome thing to see.
Yeah, no, it's the art collector community always says when you buy Sean Chen art, you're getting two for the price of one.
Yeah,
you look around and you see all the prelims. It's pretty fun. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is amazing. You can impress Barry Windsor Smith like that. Comic Trope wants to know what 24/7 stands for. He's our resident troll.
Yeah, no, I love that. And people don't ask. I don't know why. It actually came from my near-death experience during the pandemic. So I was hit very early, actually August of 2020. My wife is an ER nurse for 13 years, and she ended up catching it, bringing it home. I caught it, but it hit me way worse than it hit her. And so I was out for a few months. I literally, if you look at me now, I was 30 pounds lighter than I am now.
Wow.
And so I was like a skeleton by the time I was done. And when I survived, I got back up. And I remember as soon as I was conscious again, I kept thinking about comic books 24/7. And so I don't know why. And so I started pulling out old books, started reading again. And it just became a thing where I always wanted to consume comics. If I wasn't on a physical book, I'd be on my phone. And then when, I recovered and my business partner and I started working on acquiring some of the comic book IPs. And then some of these creators would come to us and say, hey, Carl, we have either stuff stuck at Marvel and DC or we have stuff stuck at Image, but we'll do some new titles for you. If you're interested, yeah, let's do it. And so we backed Justin Jordan for Zero Ghost. Then Sean came with Evermind, and we have Bladesmith and so on and so on. And then when we were trying to think of this is becoming more than just us backing a few creators. Now it's like a publisher. What should we call it? And then one day I just thought of 24/7 Comics because it was on my mind. So that's really where it came from. So yeah, that's a little behind the scenes stories for it all. And yeah, the covers have been insane for 4, 5, 6. I feel like Sean really got the stride of what this story's about. And he literally went all out.
Yeah, and all the covers have been really awesome. Like I was a huge fan of quite a few from the first go around, but it was kind of neat to see some of these homages come in, and obviously homage covers are huge, so that's really cool.
Yeah, that Bolin homage is awesome.
Yeah, he killed on that Bolin.
Yeah,
the first one was my idea, but then the second one he just surprised me. This one is just a no-brainer for me. I was like, that's the best Wolverine cover ever, and we just have to do it because that's we're in this homage meta.
I had to highlight, I'm telling a very important story. I definitely didn't want to interrupt, but I noticed this Howard Chaykin quote is just great. I just want to read it for people that can't quite read it on the screen. The great thing about mechanical gorillas is they don't smell like the real thing. The great thing about sexy robots is that they do, and then some.
It is such a character.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Well, you kind of mentioned when we first brought you in, you mentioned a little bit of the difficulty that the team faced with Kickstarter, kind of going through some things. Oh my gosh, K-pop Demon Hunters, that's gonna be successful.
That one actually is our most popular variant. I think there's a good reason for it, right? That's currently Netflix's biggest show ever.
Yeah, that's gonna be very good. Keep trying to change the size to get all the art here on the screen at once. You mentioned some of the trouble you kind of have been going through, and that it might have been maybe a little bit of a softer launch than you were kind of looking for, but still, I mean, all things considered, looking like a successful campaign, and you're out here kind of talking about it. We're going to keep spreading the message. How have you guys? You talked about being on the road and doing a lot of touring. Has that really, have you seen the impact of that already, and what kind of process has that been like for you?
I think so. I think every little thing helps. So at launch week, we had timed it for us to be at New York Comic Con. So Daniel Wu, he is really committed to this project, and he flew out with us to New York Comic Con and did a ton of signings. We had a little collaboration thing we did with PSA, and then we had 2 signing spots. And the first signing spot was a few hundred people, but then we thought no one was going to show up for our afternoon, so we went to go get some dumplings downstairs, came back a little late, and all of a sudden there was a line wrapped like twice around the whole thing. We're like, oh my gosh. So between the 2 signings, Daniel and Sean signed over like 1,000 things. So and we sold out of almost all our 500 copies of our Evermind 1/2 ash cans. So whoever got their hands on them, man, they're all sold out. I think it's
nice,
crazy. I always hope to have some, to ship out to friends and whatnot, but I guess it's a good thing when
Yeah, yeah, definitely a good sign when those things go quick for the collecting aspect and the popularity and all that. But um, Preston has a great question here. By the way, since we are talking about the final chapters, at least of this main story coming out, will these ever be collected into a trade book at some point?
Yes, that will be next year. So we are on a schedule. We announced this over at New York Comic Con as well, but we did a publishing deal with a licensor in China, and it's the same publisher as the Three Body Problems, and they're going to be releasing the first volume 1 trade, I believe next May. And
Okay.
our goal is to go visit Hong Kong Comic Con and be part of that launch. So that's number one. And then we're probably going to launch the all 6 hardcover probably fall of next year. So about a year from now, you'll be able to get your hands on the full collected edition.
Nice. That's awesome. Kind of, I hit the kind of area here where you're hitting the different rewards available. I always love this because as a digital reader, I'm glad to see these things still out here. But if you just want the digital copies and just want to kind of back, there are those options. Just if you went and supported Evermind the first time around, you got the 4, 5, and 6 digital editions right there. You also have the digital catch up that has all 6 issues as part of it. I'll try to make that a little bit bigger. This is one of those covers that I always loved. Was the cover to number 2 is just one of my favorite, like that Marilyn Monroe kind of moment.
Yeah.
I love that. But yeah, so you have that as well. And then go the wrong way. Let's make
for me as a comic fan, I don't know about you guys, I'm always a big fan of whoever's the interior artist should do the main cover.
Yeah,
that's always my jam. And so it's really cool to see Sean's 6 covers together like that. It brought such a big smile to my face.
No, and it's such a almost like an old school mentality. But I love it. I mean, you still offer the variant covers, you still have those, but for the people that do want to see, they want to see the inside match the outside, right? And I think that's a really cool continuity thing that you guys did, and I really love that. And so you have the full series catch up there for the actual comic books, and then the digital editions as well, the standard digital editions.
Yep.
Which tier has been the most popular so far?
I would say the full 6 issue physical has been the most popular. I think it's like the $60 tier.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the one with the physical books. I guess we also got a lot of new backers. I think we have a returning rate of like 20-something% from the first one. So I guess there's also a lot of new backers this time around.
Right on. That's good to see. Yeah, again, it's one of those books. I mean, maybe it was a timing thing or whatever. But I feel like I mentioned it to a lot of people. I try to talk to people about it because they, I love sci-fi stuff, and so I end up talking to a lot of people about, hey, what's a good sci-fi book to read? And I'm like, well, check this out. I mean, it's got an awesome creative team. It's got a cool original story. All the things I was mentioning earlier. Oh, we got some foils this time around.
Oh, well, those are
cool. What's funny? The foils aren't very sold. I mean, I think there's a few, and then the metal covers are not popular at all. We actually haven't really sold any, and so maybe sold 1 set or 2 sets or something like that. So we were surprised because the feedback we had was the artist editions were not as popular, and that people want these metal and foil covers. And so we did that, and then so we removed the artist edition. But TBD, we might have a little surprise down the line for everyone. But on issues 4 through 6, I think we thought doing something like this would work better, but for some reason, maybe the whole foil and all the metal stuff is kind of out. Maybe I don't know. Maybe people only like it when you see it in person.
Yeah, that isn't, and it makes me wonder too. I mean, I don't want to, I'm not going to put any words in your mouth or anything like that about this, but this is the kind of project that I could, we're part of the news we're going to talk about later in the show is about some stuff that's being adapted into live action and into series. This project is one that could just, to me, it's a home run to get adapted. I'm not saying that there's any, promise of that or anything like that. I'm not trying to trying to prop that up. But I could see this getting adapted in a heartbeat. And then we all know what happens then in the comic collecting game. You know that people, let's go get the rarest covers. You just heard, these metals aren't really moving as much. I guarantee you that if these end up being like kind of a lower print sort of a thing, that people are going to come back and be like, hey, those medals from the Kickstarter, those are the ones to collect.
And I'm really big on not reprinting each run after I'm done. So everything that you guys get here will be exclusively for this here. So.
Oh, that's awesome. You guys are doing commissions too for
these have been very popular actually. We sold initially, Sean agreed to 3. And then what happened was we did a day 1 special, and then we forgot to take off the regular day 1. And then we ended up selling all 6 right away. And then we launched another 6, I believe. And so a few sold from there. So I think there's still a few spots left. But
wow.
People want his commissions, man. His commission is also very reasonable for what's out there. Like, you're getting someone who is a veteran in the industry, plus years. And he spends so much time on his art, while other artists sometimes, I'm not saying the speed makes or break anything, they're pumping stuff out, right? But Sean really takes a lot of time, like on the 11x17. I think he puts like 3, 4, 5 days, sometimes a week into it, depending on how inspired he is. And so you're really getting the bang for your buck when you commission Sean.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, cover quality, like every piece of art I've ever seen from Sean there's nothing that's like quick about it. It doesn't look like it was turned out to meet a deadline at all. That's awesome.
So Bigby, what are you into?
Oh, I do art too. Everything. A lot of the same things Bronze is into. X-Men, G.I. Joe, a lot of that kind of stuff. But I love the art style and everything on this stuff. It looks really cool.
Yeah, I'll give you the Bigby elevator pitch. I mean, that's kind of weird to do, but I know him well enough. I think I can do it. So Bigby has owned several comic book shops over the years, not currently, but he has. And then he's been an artist pretty much his whole life.
Oh, wow.
And his commission, when we do like the Heroes for Heroes auctions, he's always there drawing. His commissions go for quite a bit. He's done probably my favorite one he's ever done, especially associated with Heroes for Heroes, was he did one with X-23 versus Man-Thing, and it's just this awesome like fight shot. He's a really great artist too. So
that's awesome. And brave for owning comic book shops. I mean, it's quite a undertaking, man. It's no joke.
Yeah, I went and showed my portfolio to Bob Schreck at one point, and I told him at that point I owned 2 shops, and he said, "And you're still sane?" So that's questionable.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's a lot.
Hey, shout out to Nick Barucci in the chat from
Nick
Forces. What's up, Nick? Everyone, please hit that thumbs up. Jumping in to say hi to Carl and everyone, and we appreciate that, Nick. Thank you so much.
Nick's the man.
Yeah, so you guys have the 4 through 6 in the metal. Are you going to do the 1 through 3 in metal as well, or?
Maybe that's why people aren't getting it. I don't know. Yeah, we didn't add the 1 through 6 as an option, just because we felt like for some reason this set of 3 covers also kind of go together well.
Yeah,
so we thought people would just get into that. So maybe that's an issue. Maybe that's why people didn't buy it.
I was just thinking, like, people might want to have a full set of the metals or something, But.
Yeah.
Interesting. A strategy card game. Okay.
Oh, wow.
We're really in the game. So we had Nate, who was our Magic Nate. He was with us for a while, and he's a game designer. So my thing is, any one of our team members, I want them to be doing what they love. And he's always talking about designing games. Design a game for us. So I commissioned him to design, a few games for us. He did the Heroes Be Damned one, which is right here. And then it was very popular. We sold a bunch of these.
Nice.
So cool. It's a full card game. And then so he designed another one for Evermind. So it's going to be fun.
Good point, Comics Ropes. Yes, Bigby can actually sense your thumbs at home. If you guys are literally holding him up to the screen, he can tell. And then those translate into YouTube hype, and we get the stream gets shared out everywhere. It's crazy.
Right.
Dude, have you guys met Chris in person? He's so tall.
Yeah. Yeah, we usually hang out with him at most of the local Pacific Northwest shows that we all go to.
Cool.
Yeah, he's a great friend of the channel. He's I think we were both fans of his well before we met him, and just kind of ended up being one of those people that you always want to run into at a local show because you're gonna have a good time.
So do you guys play Magic the Gathering?
I do.
Yeah, you did, right? Yeah, you still do.
Yeah, on occasion. I'm pretty big. We usually play draft a lot. That's my thing.
Yeah, if you're Pacific Northwest, you have to.
Oh yeah, my first shop launched right around the beginning of Magic, so I was always interwoven with that, and it was a big part of the success.
Yeah, no, Magic's the best. It's my happy time for sure. It's
Right.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else while I'm playing Magic.
Right. Yep.
Nice. I'm trying to get into Pokemon a little bit because my daughter is now obsessed with Pokemon. So that's kind of my first foray into the whole, playable card game kind of thing. Yeah, it's new for me.
It's dangerous.
You have some cool stretch goals here.
Yeah, I know. We were very ambitious for this project because we lined up everything like we were going to do everything right, and then Kickstarter went on strike. So as ambitious as we wanted to be, I don't think we're going to go that far off the stretch goal. Hopefully, maybe get up to Bella, but we had commissioned kind of these sketch card prints from all of them. And what's fun is they all did like a variety of 12 to 20. And so everyone's going to get very different ones when we hit these goals. And so I think we're very close to 20. So
yeah,
hopefully we'll at least hit that this week. We have 9 more days to go. So we're about 2/3 through our campaign. And so I'd be pretty happy if we could get even just through past the Kim Jacinto. Then I think we'll have a good thing.
Right on. Already got the gold lapel pen. So if you're jumping in to any of these rewards, you can go ahead and get that. Yeah, a lot of great. Bella Racklin was definitely one of the ones that stuck out to me.
Yeah.
A lot of really cool stuff here. I understand that with where you're at, 9 days left, this would be an amazing accomplishment. But some book plates and stuff here at the end, that's pretty cool.
You had Warwick Johnson Cadwell.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome. I love his art. I think he should just be bigger, but he's under this Mike Mignola verse, and he puts the books out, but I don't know if people are engaging like they should. But he's one of my favorite artists.
Yeah,
but he could be like artist kind of guy too.
Oh wow, I didn't even see there's a Jay Lee sketch card set stretch goal. So hey, if we all go back, might be able to unlock some of these awesome stretch goals too. So worth considering for everybody. The more we back, the more we get closer to unlocking some of these. So
yeah, folks, spread the word.
So is Evermind going to be part of a bigger universe as well, or is it just self-contained?
I've never asked the team to create any kind of inactivity because I feel like Marvel has really milked it for all the whole multiverse. So all the surprises and things like that you could even think of, I think is pretty worn out. So my thesis is that we need to create as many classic stories as possible because at the end of the day, what are the stories that you remember? Oh, like Frank Miller's run on Dark Knight. Oh, Barry Windsor Smith's run on X Weapon X, or Daniel Warren Johnson do a Powerbomb, or Transformers, right? So there's runs that I think people remember. And so our mandate to the creator teams are you know what, take your time, do your best work, and we only want 6 issues from you. And we basically compensate everyone exactly the same, but we give everyone as much time as they need to do it. So it's their choice on how many pages they want to write and draw. And for the most part, everyone is delivering more pages because of choice, right? And so that's pretty cool. And so I would say, even though Sean's book is 6 issues, I think it's probably equivalent to a 9 or 10 issue book because all the pages are in the 30s.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I was thumbing through and I was seeing 35 pages on. Yeah, it's pretty dense stuff, and all good, well paced too. So Had a great question from Comic Tropes here. I want to make sure we get a chance to answer this. And this is a great one. Out there in the chat, be thinking about this one as well. What kind of mech or robot would each of you put your brain into? Chris offers up that he would try out a dolphin. I'm going to answer first real fast because it's my joke answer, really. But Chris, I would be in a Comic Tropes robot. I mean, Infotron or like an actual Comic Tropes robot. That'd be my mech. No, I'll think about that one for a second. How about you, Big B? What kind of mech would you want to ride around in?
Ron, you could do the whole like Spider-Man meme. You could go up to Chris and be like, "Hey, you."
Yeah, exactly. That'd be great.
All of us pointing at each other. Do the old GI robot from Creature Commandos. There we
Ooh, good choice.
That's great. Yeah, I love Creature Commandos. Such a great show, and it's funny. Like, I don't know about you guys, a lot of people haven't seen it. When I say, "Hey, have you seen Creature Commando?" They're like, "No." I was like, "Dude, what? Such a great show." I watched it like 3 times already. It's so well done.
Right.
Yeah, I rewatched it after Superman came out just because I was like, I wanted to kind of go back and see where that all started, and it's and then Peacemaker just kind of made me want to go back and rewatch it again.
So good. Peacemaker. I don't know how James Gunn does it, but he like writes and directs everything. So how much time do you have, right? He's living it. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think we're gonna finally get our first non-James Gunn DCU projects here and see what those kind of look like with Lanterns and then the Supergirl film. So that should be pretty interesting. Good point from Preston. Hanging out with that female robot, I'd even go with the mech gorilla. There you go. That's a good answer. These answers are gonna be awesome. I can tell. We already got tentacles.
You want like Doc Ock then? You want to be like a Doc Ock tentacle robot?
I hope that's what they meant. Gundam Unicorn. There we go.
Me, I would be Gundam right away. That's my mech, my go-to mech for sure.
My real answer would be anything that flies. By the way, I mean, just to fly would be cool. So some kind of falcon or a pterodactyl or whatever kind of cool mech you can make out of that. That'd be great.
So what have you guys been reading lately?
Oh, what have I? So I've been reading. I actually started reading Bone to my daughter.
Oh, fun!
Yeah, so kind of go back. I don't think I ever read much past like the first few issues myself.
Same. I don't remember at all. I think it's been so long. Oh my God.
So I've been going back and reading that to her, which is really fun because she's kind of at an age where I can kind of go back and visit some of the stuff that I read to her that I read when I was a kid to her. And then I've been reading all the Energon Skybound stuff because she's into the Transformers, and I loved all that stuff when I was a kid too. So I've kind of been focusing mostly on that for newer stuff, and then just reading tons and tons of older stuff. How about you, Big B?
It's so good.
Just started cracking open my old GI Joe graphic novels and rereading from issue #1. So yeah, I've been reading that classic stuff.
Nice. E-Man says, by the way, shout out to E-Man. I was kind of waving at you while we were talking. Just received his Here's Me Damn box.
Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate the support.
There you go.
Vince, I'll say thank you on behalf of Vince and Nico, who's hard at work.
Nice. Yeah, good point. I should have let's make it like a Pteranodon, but with like laser eyes and like a ruby quartz visor. I like that. I can get behind that.
Gotta have a big beard though too.
Well, of course. I mean, obviously, I'm basically going to turn into a Bayverse Transformer. Is kind of how it's starting to look. I'm thinking. What is your favorite dinosaur? I think I just answered that myself. But yeah, there we go. Yeah. So silliness abounds. We get silly here late at night on the West Coast. But yeah, I do want to point out, you were mentioning
one more, and then we activate the free signed print for everybany.
That's awesome. So
it's just not this, I totally messed it up, but there's a version of it.
Oh, let me make
I was testing out the pens for Daniel and Sean, but they went and signed 400 of these.
Oh wow!
On it, but it's a really nice print. If you hear it's like a comic art board, so
Cool.
Issue 4.
Very cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I mean, I personally backed the first go around for Evermind, and all the print materials, the paper that the comics were printed on were all top notch. So definitely, you know, something you like to see when you're investing in some of these you know, nicer, cooler, you know, luscious art, all that stuff. You want it to show up on great materials, and it all absolutely did. To Big B and Bronze, if you had to read just one story from G.I. Joe, what would it be and why? Loving the OG cartoons and want to start rereading the comics. Just for people that may not know, Awesome Sauce is doing voice to text because of a visual impairment, so sometimes those typos might look a little interesting, but yeah, it's just voice to text. Ooh, that's a good question.
That is a tough one. I mean, 21 isn't really reading.
Yeah, I know. That's the one that stood out for me too. That's like it's so iconic, you know. How do you?
It is.
Yeah.
I think one of my next favorite one is the one with where it's Ace and Lady J and the Jet versus Wild Weasel and the Baroness. That one is so good. It's one issue where it's just like, and so much stuff about fighter pilot technique and everything that you wouldn't even think of. And I mean, they're going until they're totally out of ammo. The only thing they can do is like ram the planes into each other after that.
There's kind of like a
salute each other
warfare kind of a thing about it too. Like, you know, like the, you know, it has kind of like a dual kind of a vibe to it. That's a great choice. I'm gonna go with the Cobra Island Civil War. It's probably my favorite little arc from the original like sub 100 stories. And it's just got a lot going on. I actually wish it was longer. That's the only thing I could say for it, is I wish it was a couple issues longer. But did you ever read the original Hama G.I. Joe stuff, Carl?
A little bit. I don't remember it, but my question was actually if Larry Hama has been tying in the original stuff with the Energon universe that he's been.
Oh yeah.
Doing. Has he done a good job of doing that?
Well, the Energon comic is a little separate than he's doing like his original continuation still.
Oh, he's doing original continuation.
Yeah. So he's kind of just finishing up that story essentially from his vision.
Yeah.
And it's been insane, like seeing him just kind of, I mean, there's Cobra Island casinos and zombies and all kinds of stuff.
What the heck? I mean, I got to meet him at New York Comic Con. Yeah, he's very good friends of our executive editor, Terry Kavanaugh. And he showed up to Terry's house, and we got to sit on the couch and chit chat like forever. It was awesome. And he has such high energy and such consciousness at his age. It's very respectable, and it makes you realize, like, man, some of these guys, they must have been like fireballs when they were like younger, you know, because they're still so conscious and still writing, still putting materials out. It's impressive.
I'm trying to pick apart the art in the background there. I see we got some Barry Windsor Smith with Valiant. You got Conan #1. You got Bruce Timm Joker up there.
So those two are Maddox recreations. I don't think I could ever afford the Conan #1 cover, but I do have a Wayshack Cul-de-sac #1 cover original.
Cool.
I have this #2 here as well. I'm a big fan of this of
wow.
Wayshack. Yeah, he's amazing.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then this one is from Magic the Gathering. It's the Captain America First Avenger original art.
Oh, very cool.
So the historic significance is actually the very first Magic the Gathering Marvel crossover piece that came out. So
that's interesting. I didn't know that. That's cool.
And that's by Ryan Pankos. And then we have Bruce Timm Joker here.
That one got my eye. I could see that one just even a little tiny. I was like, that's Bruce Timm.
And then I mean, the other one I couldn't afford was the Triptych Sword of Azrael cover that Joe Quesada did, but then I had Mannix recreate that. And then this is Joe Benitez on Darkness. It was Darkness.
Cool. Right on.
I forgot the angel's name. And then this is a Japanese artist that did his interpretation of like a steampunk Joker, Suguji. And his wait list is like 1.5 years long. He's amazing.
Whoa. Wow.
And then there's Brothers Hildebrand. Rest in Peace is there. Another Darkness cover. I kind of love Darkness growing up.
Yeah,
The Darkness is a cool character. Underused.
yeah.
I think.
The whole art for every piece of art for Darkness was always a treat. Visually, it was just great.
Yeah,
Speaking of art, well, by the way, for those who don't know, Carl has a pretty awesome eye and a collection for original art. I actually, I would say, like, in a funny way, like, I got a bone to pick with you or something like that. You picked up something this summer that I am just so jealous of, and I just it's so awesome that you picked this up.
Oh my
if
God.
you don't mind me showing this off.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Dude, that's amazing that you got that. Congratulations.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I know. Such an amazing get. So much nostalgia. And
Yeah.
you know, I remember turning the page and then pausing on this forever. And then when I turned the page and I turned back again, like multiple times, just because it was just not just like the sexiness of it all, but like the moment is so relatable.
Yeah.
We've all had our kind of like wandering eyes, right? And to be called out by his girlfriend, it's just such a funny moment.
Oh, it's such an awesome, like, I mean, this page literally is because it's very similar to like the Phoebe Cates moment from Fast Times. Like this is like it's just emblazoned on my memory, especially as a Cyclops fan. Like it just kind of was one of those moments from me starting to get into the comic books, and that's just such a great page, man. I can't believe you have that. That's so cool.
Yeah, I can't believe
It's really cool.
Yeah,
I mean, it's cool too because Psylocke, she was cut out by Mile High Comics, and for a few years she was in their advertisement on the back of every comic.
yeah,
So
Right.
that's why this image is very iconic for that reason.
Yeah.
100%. You're talking about original art back there, and I was like, oh yeah, I wanted to talk to you about that because that's so cool. I mean, like to have any Jim Lee page would be amazing, but that one in particular.
Oh, yeah, no, Jim Lee. I've been waiting for a piece because, you know, I was a big fan, but by the time I started collecting art, like most of the stuff is just gone, and it's just comical. And like, not saying this, you know, when for anything affordable, obviously it took some time to kind of take care of, but other stuff of his is way crazier, price wise, and so I consider myself very lucky. I feel like I was able to get it at a good spot. So
that's great. So what issue is that from, Carl? Do you remember off the top of your head?
X-Men number 8, I believe, page 8.
Okay, so Adam, we're talking about Carl picked up back in August, or at least that's when the post is from. I'm not sure if that's when he picked it up, but
earlier in the year, actually.
Picked up there's a page of Psylocke coming out of the pool at the X Mansion, and Cyclops she's kind of teasing him, flirting with him a little bit, and Cyclops is kind of staring at her, and Jean catches him. Basically, it's a great page. But yeah, it's great Jim Lee art, and Carl's got the original there, so fantastic.
You know what's crazy? Even though that one's like a very iconic big piece for me, my favorite piece in my gallery is 2 Barry Windsor Smith's Archer and Armstrong Zero cover. That cover is so iconic for me. I don't know why. It felt like it was prime Barry Windsor Smith, and it was such a character story that wasn't quite like the superhero meta. It was just something very different, and so I think that cover is still something that stood to me for sure.
Nice. That's awesome. That's really awesome. So I do want to, before we can talk about this stuff all day long, and I would love to.
Sorry.
No. But I do want to make sure we kind of bring it back home here at kind of the end of this little segment here, just to talk about what's going on right now, because Carl's been an awesome guest. I think everybody will agree with that. And he also helped put out an awesome comic book here from Sean Chen, Daniel Wu, and that is going to be the Evermind Complete Collection. So if you want to get a chance to read all 6 issues and not have to wait for the rest of it to come out. I know earlier the question was kind of asked, is there any going to be spin-offs, that kind of stuff? I'll kind of quickly say I asked Sean about that when he came on when we were promoting the first 3 issues, and his he was just like excited to get these ones out, but he said he could see it happening someday, but it was just such a far off thing that he couldn't even really really think about it because he was just worried about finishing the book. So that, there's always the possibility, but if you're looking for at least for the foreseeable future, for sure, getting everything, making sure you collect all the single issues, whether digitally or physically, get into some of these extra amazing tiers and add-ons and stretch goals. Go check out the Kickstarter. It's live right now. We got 9 days left on it as of recording here on the 27th of October. I'm going to go ahead, and I know we pasted the link in the chat earlier, but I'll paste it again now. And if you're watching on the rewind and don't have the live chat up, this link is pasted into the description of this video as well. So you can go easily go follow that, or just search for Evermind Kickstarter, and your favorite browser will probably direct you there as well. And I highly recommend checking it out. I know getting those first few issues, I was stoked to check out the rest of the story. So I'll have to go do my due diligence here on Friday, probably on Halloween when I get paid, and go back this and get the rest of the story, because it's just awesome. Oh, I did want to ask about this too. There is like a giveaway, it looks like, that people are going to qualify for if they get physical rewards. Is that can you kind of tell us a little bit about that?
I think we're announcing that this Wednesday. So basically, we're doing giveaway. So everyone who backs the first 3 weeks, which basically Wednesday will be the deadline, will be put in a raffle. And when we did a signing for Daniel Wu and Sean last August, we had them sign some additional copies that we sent to CGC. And the first place will be a signed book from the guys. And then the second and third place will just be the 9.8 of the artist edition and the regular edition. What's really cool is actually for 4 through 6 and even some of the 1/2s over at New York Comic Con, we did a promotion with PSA and we sent a bunch of them out to grade. So we're going to get a bunch of PSA slabs back as well. So it's going to be fun. I think, we want to put some of these slabs in collectors' hands. And, I think sometimes it makes me sad because, like you said, Bronze, like the page qualities are so high and so nicely, done that I kind of want people to just touch the pages. But there's something about being in a slab, that's kind of nice as a frame as well. So
yeah. I mean, I think, luckily for people, you can kind of be rest assured if you want to get the physical copies, and as long as you're careful with your books, I think you'll be pretty safe if you did want to send them off for grading later on too, and kind of have your cake and eat it too. But there's also the digital copies too, if you just want to have a copy to read. Or you could go ahead and get a couple sets, and there you go. You got best of both worlds right there, right?
Yeah, at very least, watch the trailer. Mr. Nicky Finnegan was the director of it.
And for those that don't know, that's Swaggle House Comics over on YouTube. Seems to have a popular YouTube channel over there. Great friend of the channel. It's actually our first guest on our first show. Was
really?
Nicky. So shout out to Swaggle House. But yeah, he did an awesome job on the trailer. Go check it out. Anything else you want to share with us, Carl, before we move on to kind of just we're just going to handle the regular news segments that we kind of have left to talk about. But you're obviously welcome back anytime. But if there's anything else you want to mention now, I want to make sure you get a chance to talk about it.
No, really just want to thank you, Bronze. Great meeting you, Big B, and everyone. Definitely check out the campaign and appreciate you guys. Obviously, hopefully I could be supportive in other ways, even donating the future Heroes for Heroes initiatives.
We appreciate it, man.
If I could be helpful there. But yeah, we're here, and we're committed to this for the long haul. We're on a 5, 10, 20-year game plan. I'm not gonna not gonna lie to myself and think we could blow up 24/7 Comics in 5 years. And so it's really just the beginning for us. So we're committed, and so this is just the beginning. So thank you everyone for being part of the process and our early journey. So, and thank you guys for having me.
So anyway, we should have people follow you on like Instagram or anything for updates?
Please follow us 24/7 Comics HQ on Instagram, and then search Evermind Kickstarter, and you'll be able to land on this page. And then I'm easy to reach too, Carl at 247comics.com. If you have any questions, ideas, I'm pretty fast response-wise. And so just stay connected and look forward to sharing more of what we have coming up next year. I'm super excited to share.
Very cool.
Awesome. I can't wait. I've loved every project you guys have done so far, and I'm just following along and trying to tell as many people as I can about it so they can kind of get involved too. So yeah, check it out, everybody. Evermind 1 through 6 on Kickstarter right now. Go check it out. Go back it if you feel like it's a project you want to back. And thanks again, Carl, for coming on and talking about it. Looking forward to having you on again at some point when your next project gets announced or the next thing comes up.
For sure. Thank you, guys. EXP.
Right,
let's go. Good night.
Sweet. So yeah, I love talking to Carl. I think he's a really awesome dude. And love the comic book. Like I can't stress enough like how fun it is to read.
The art is amazing.
Yeah.
And and perusing what I got to peruse, it looks really, really good.
Absolutely. So I spent a little bit longer than I had originally maybe intended talking to Carl. Are you okay if we go slightly over? I know you know.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
we're good.
We're gonna go slightly over, but we are gonna kind of tackle these pretty quickly because I don't want to have a super long show. But there's some fun announcements. I don't think any of them are necessarily like things that we have to have a huge discussion on, though. But they're fun announcements. I want to make sure we talk about it. One of them is I alluded to this earlier. Is we have a couple adaptation announcements. Hey, what's up, Space Case Collectibles? How you doing? So Something Is Killing Children has had several announcements and kind of adaptation rumors and stuff. It was optioned at one point by Netflix for a series. But the news that came out the other day, this was October 24th, the Hollywood Reporter and many other sources reported that we are going to get I've actually always, is it Blumhouse or I assume it's Bloomhouse, but I always
thought it was Bloomhouse, but
yeah,
be wrong.
I know it's named after somebody, but and I would assume that name is Bloom, not Blum. But Bloomhouse, which they're kind of big in all the horror movies, and this is kind of their Super Bowl going on right now with everything. And they got Black Phone 2 is out in theaters, and that character's in Fortnite, and just all kinds of crazy stuff going on with them. But they're going to be having the rights for a live action feature film for Something Is Killing Children. The actual production history has been kind of like, I know people get tired of that optioned news. I feel like this is a little bit more concrete. I know Netflix let their deal expire, and so some people got kind of cynical about this, but I have a feeling this is going to be the real deal. It looks like. I don't think that they're gonna half butt it. Oh, it's Blum like plum. Okay, Blum like. Hey, I appreciate it. I kind of knew you'd know the answer, Jay, so I was hoping we could get it from you. You just seem like the guy who would know. A lot of the article just kind of talks about how popular the comic's been. But I'm excited for this. This is literally one of my favorite comics from the last, I guess technically it's 6 years now, but I'd say the last 5 years or so. And I still read the volumes as they come out. And I love that first arc the most, but the first 20 issues or so are really solid in my opinion. And I like the world quite a bit too. So I'm excited. You got any thoughts on this one, man?
No, that's really exciting to see that it's going to be coming out, going to reach a whole nother audience. So yeah. So there you go. Your 8th printing might be worth a little more.
For sure. I've got quite a few of these. It's odd. I have two first prints. I have the Frizen cover and the Jay Lee cover. Both graded and 9.8 and all that stuff, and the Jay Lee one signed by Tinian. I actually don't have the A cover, which it's not my. It's kind of a boring cover to me, to be honest, like compared to the variants I have.
Kind of iconic, though. I mean,
that's the thing, and it matches like the trade dress and the like theme of the rest of the series. So much more. So
I feel a little bit better about picking up that one at the show from you.
Yeah, for sure, man. So that's really cool. I'm excited for that one. That's can't come fast enough, even though I want them to take their time and do a good job, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, no, that's cool.
So the story that kind of goes along with that when we're talking about adaptation news, and this one's a little bit less of a done deal because Blumhouse is pretty much, I think at this point they're just ready to rock and roll on it and start production, all that stuff. This is from Deadline. They're talking about an Energy Universe adult animated series. So that's G.I. Joe, Transformers, Void Rivals. And that's with Joe Henderson as the showrunner. Joe Henderson is from Lucifer and another show that I didn't really watch Lucifer, but I really liked a show that he did that only lasted one season, but it was called Almost Human. It had Carl Urban in it. That was a really good show. So he does some pretty good series. So that's exciting. Of course, you know, Invincible has been a powerhouse. I think Invincible season 3 was like there's something in this article was like the most watched animated thing that Netflix or that Amazon has done. Something along those lines. But yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's exciting. Yeah, it's really exciting.
And you know, you think about Kirkman just picking up the license for all the Hasbro stuff essentially a few years ago, and kind of where he's gone with it, and you know, the new stuff with Void Rivals, the great stuff we've seen from Transformers and G.I. Joe, especially Transformers in my opinion. And then we're getting this kind of adult oriented series. Now the article kind of tries to describe some tone. I think that they're kind of swinging for it. So it's funny, I read Transformers to my 7-year-old daughter, the Daniel Warren Johnson Transformers, and this comment like E-Man's making there, spoilers kind of, but not really. Yeah, it's Optimus Prime like squishes a deer, you know, like pretty early on in the series. And it's not like super graphic or anything, but it's just kind of one of those things where it's like it kind of explores the fragility of, you know, talking about humans and robots that are giant being mixed together, which is kind of funny because the classic story didn't really do much with that. But if you think about it, it's kind of natural.
Yeah, the Dreamwave series, they actually, when Image first got a hold of Transformers, they had some stuff where the Decepticons were squishing people. And I was like, that was pretty excited for that kind of level of, whoa, hey, it's a little darker here.
Yeah. I'm saying, like, you think about the classic stuff, and it's like they were always mixing humans and robots, and there's all those kind of like almost like memes or a little like, you know, joke animations or whatever about people being inside and getting squished or whatever when they transform or any of that kind of stuff.
Right. So they're kind of going for like a more of an Invincible level of.
Yeah, I don't think they mean like bloody, but I think they mean like target audience. It's kind of the reading between the lines on the press release kind of article here. No. I'm not saying like you said it was this way. It's anybody who like kind of sees this news and might want to go seek out those stories, though. That's kind of what I was talking about. Right. Might be kind of coming out to like, oh, well, if it's getting adapted, maybe I should watch it, or maybe I should read it. I mean, yeah, I hear good things about Lucifer. Preston says, not really thrilled with the Energon universe outside of the Void Rivals has been amazing. I think Transformers has been quite good, but it's probably because I think it's the best like reboot that it takes all the Gene 1 kind of designs and sort of almost like a feel or almost the basic plot, I guess, of them arriving at Earth, but it tells it like in a very condensed, easy to read kind of timeline, instead of like spreading out the story like some of the originals did. But yeah, I'm excited. I think it looks cool. So and then let's see what else is like absolutely stuff I wanted to make sure we talked about here. Oh, this is kind of neat. There's one other Kickstarter coming out, or actually just launched, that's a little different. I didn't expect this. I got an email about how this is like an immediate release item, and I was kind of pleased to see that, because usually with the Dynamite stuff and the Dynamic Forces stuff I can't talk about because it's usually embargoed for Tuesdays. But this I can talk about right away. Warner Brothers is entering the comic mystery bag game through their Dynamite comics. So that's stuff like right at the top, like here, it just says all the titles: Thundercats, Space Ghost, Johnny Quest, Herculoids, Captain Planet, Silverhawks, and Powerpuff Girls. You can see this just launched not that long ago, and we're already at 6780 back, 31 backers. It's basically like, I think they were saying like $300 of guaranteed value in a $100 bag. Oh yeah, $250 worth of rare and collectible metal and holofoil comics, ash cans, blank covers, trading cards, and brand new homage variant covers. Some lucky backers will get packs valued at over $500 that have sketch cover comics, rare high value Ashcan editions, and extremely limited hollow foil and metal comics. With 5 big items in every bag, the value just builds and builds with each blind bag purchased. So, we just talked about Todd McFarlane not wanting to enter the blind bag game, and I think that brought up a great conversation about the whole blind bag kind of experience. And then we kind of talked about how we kind of dipped our toes in that recently. And now you have this with some really great artists involved. I mean, Mike Mignola, Mark Spears, Nakayama, Frizen, Jay Lee, Mannix, Perillo, just some really, solid artists here. Ben Oliver, Derek Chu. So
what a broad
are you going to pick up any
variety
of these
titles too? A really broad variety of titles.
Exactly. I mean, a lot of stuff here that is kind of tugging at some nostalgia strings for people.
Yeah.
Captain Planet, Thundercats, Powerpuff Girls, Space Ghost. You think you'd be interested in backing any of these, or is this kind of not necessarily
sounds interesting? What was the price on that to back it? So
I think it was $100 per bag, I want to say, but you're getting a bunch of items. $100 for the mystery bag. You're guaranteed 1 metal or hollow foil book exclusive. It's exclusive to this launch. 1 of 8 new homage variants by Ken Hauser, recreating an awesome iconic scene and only available to this program. A buyback book from the WB Library of Comics published by Dynamite. So that's kind of an older release. And then 1 of 8 possible blank sketch cover comics. And then a hard to find Ashcan variant. So those are you get 5 items basically.
Cool.
And then 15 random bags will have the original art sketched on the blank by a number of incredible talented artists, which we talked about earlier.
That's
so
really cool. That's really cool.
It's pretty neat. I'm kind of considering it. It's just one of those things where it's a hell of a lineup of artists, and that's a crazy cross section of titles. I think there's a lot of the downside would be there's probably a lot of I was hoping for Space Ghost and I got Powerpuff Girls or whatever. I'd probably be happy because my daughter likes Powerpuff Girls, but most people will probably be looking for.
I don't think there's too much to be disappointed in that lineup. So
exactly. But I mean, that's the only thing. Is like the only negative is that there's maybe
if you're going for a specific,
yeah. And then by the way, quick correction, which I always read incorrectly, but did get somebody pointing out Ken Hauser, not Ken Hauser, which I always make that mistake.
It looked like it said that the buyback books were signed and stamped too. I know like they do that with cards nowadays, like Topps does it, and they'll have them like they've got a impressed stamping or embossed stamping on them, and then they're signed. So it looked like it said that was going on with the buyback ones. So that's cool.
Okay, there we go. Great point from the title there from Adam. I'm back in just because they called it mystery packs and not blind bags. Dynamite rules and F blind bags. I will say, just to be transparent with you, Adam, there is something that says blind bags lower down on the page. Just going to be honest with you, I don't want anybody pointing that out later to you and being like, "What the hell?" But yeah, they call it a mystery bag at the top, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, just kind of different. I mean, they're kind of taken over. I know Boom just did some blind bags too, talking about something of skill in children. So pretty interesting. Speaking of blind bags, because I love transitions, ICV2 reported that the orders for the Mark Spears Monsters blind bags reached 362,000 orders.
Holy cow.
That's insane.
Wow.
That's insane. So it's Mark Spears Monsters number 8 has reached 362,000 pre-orders, topping orders for Spears' first blind bag promotion. And this wraps up the current story arc with over 80 variant covers. Good dear. All by Spears, in addition to 25 of the blind bags that contain 25 days of Krampus tickets, golden tickets that can be redeemed for unique signed and remarked comics. The comic will be released on December 17th with an MSRP of $5.99. The Monster and the Wolf Trick or Treat blind bag that came out had a 350,000 pre-orders. So we're talking about, basically 2/3 of 2/3 of blind bags from Mark Spears in this pair of releases here, which is pretty insane. Yeah. Ooh, that'd be interesting. Perio on Powerpuff Girls. That's a good thought. I like that, Preston.
Yeah.
That'd be really interesting. So yeah.
There's that.
Quite a
Good
bit
for
of
Mark
stuff.
Spears.
Yeah, Mark Spears killing it. I will say that I don't know what name he wants to go by, so I'll hold off on the name. Somebody who donated some Mark Spears items last time around for Heroes for Heroes, since we're talking about Heroes for Heroes, is sending in. I know there's at least one signed Mark Spears item in there. So that was a generous donation. I think it's kind of circling its delivery to me any day now, so I'll try to show that off when I get it. The last news story I really want to make sure we cover before we wrap up the show from the news segment standpoint is that the boys received a pair of Guinness World Records, which I guess it's kind of a lot of Dynamite news tonight too. This obviously involves Dynamite because they published the boys comics. And the world records were for the most in-demand action adventure TV show and most in-demand superhero TV show. So as far as I'm aware, that I think that means like streaming on demand kind of a thing,
Right.
where people are clicking on it. And there was a post from Guinness World Records here with like some of the cast and stuff holding up the Guinness World Record plaques, that's just kind of cool. Comic books not dead yet when it comes to adaptations.
Did you watch the wrap up for Gen V?
No, I think I have like 2 episodes left to watch.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, I think you'll like it.
I've heard that it's the general consensus is maybe better than some of the recent boys stuff. Is kind of what some people have been saying. I enjoyed the first season of that show quite a bit. The second season, I want to see how it wraps up. Of course, I don't want to make judgment before I see it. But
the ending of the second season will get you hyped for stuff coming up. That's for sure.
Right on. They felt like they were a lot more free and loose with the crossover stuff this season, especially with like one character who like basically appears throughout an entire episode. I won't say who, just in case people are watching. And what was I going to say about that? There was something that you'd ask. Was it you were asking me about Tron Ares, or there was some movie you were asking me if I watched.
I asked you if you watched Tron Ares. Yeah.
I did check it out.
Yeah.
Do you want to like do a non-spoiler review of it kind of thing real fast?
Sure. I watched it as well.
Okay. So what'd you think?
I enjoyed it. I mean, hey, I can't fault their choice of a favorite band in there. Depeche Mode is my favorite band, so. But
it's so hilarious, like a soundtrack by 9 Inch Nails, and like the band that gets mentioned throughout the entire movie is Depeche Mode.
Right. I thought it was pretty good. There were some plot holes, but I liked it.
Yeah. I had a really hard time getting over Jared Leto as the star. Like it was the hang up I knew I was going to have. So you can maybe argue it was a self.
You mentioned that before you going into it. You mentioned it. Yeah.
But I will say again, non-spoiler, the plot felt like, okay, so Tron Legacy sometimes gets attacked for having kind of a weak plot. That's understandable. Tron Legacy is more of a vibe, in my opinion, but it does that vibe very well. Like it has every scene feels like this is Tron Legacy. This is the story of what's going on in the grid. And you kind of are just behind the basic premise, which, again, I'm talking about Tron Legacy. This is not spoilers for the new movie. It's about trying to get Sam and Cora off the grid, back out into the real world. Okay, great. Try to learn why that's important and then make that happen. Have a good night, Adam. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate it, brother. This film, again, I'll do my best for non-spoilers. I don't feel connected, or I don't really care much about any of the characters. and it just made me want to go watch the first two again. That's all it really did. There's some cool visuals and some cool scenes. There's some great music.
Right.
There's not much heart or not much that kept me engaged with what was going on, like scene to scene in this film.
I mean, knowing that you had the hang up with Jared, like I thought they, just watching it as a Tron movie, I thought they did a pretty good job of like trying to humanize, or him being interested in the human condition. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. But like to Jay's point here, that would have been 10 times better if it was actually Tron, like the character.
Right.
And I know Bruce Boxleitner does not want to return to Tron, who played Tron in the first film and the second film, as well as if you might know him from Babylon 5 if you're not a huge Tron fan. But he doing a different, recasting him, whatever. I think that would have been more apt. I will say that there are some supporting characters who I was excited the actors were in this film, and they don't really do much, like at all. I won't say who it is because I don't want anybody to be, certain that I'm talking about certain characters, like, not have much screen time or whatever. But if there was actors you were excited to see in this film, they're probably not the ones on screen.
I didn't know that Gillian Anderson was going to be in the movie. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah,
so.
Gillian Anderson's one of them.
Yeah.
And then I'm totally blanking on his name, but the gentleman who played Quicksilver in the Fox. And whose name I remembered as soon as I saw the movie, and then just forgot. No, she's not in it. And since we're pressed for time, I'm not going to play the drop.
Nice try.
Yeah, I do need to spend some time. Evan Peters, thank you. I do need to spend some time editing those drops up too. What's up, Christina? Hello. Jared Leto, that's all I heard.
No, I enjoyed it, but there was it could have been better. I do like that they were trying to. It's not a spoiler, is it? At some point in the movie, they tried to tie it into the second movie. So
yeah, I'm gonna show off some real quick community artwork, and I'm gonna skip the drop on that too, just in the interest of time, because I would like to wrap the show up, and still show all the quality content. So for the community artwork, there's a couple things I'll show here, and then I'll show one other thing that I forgot to show last week. Erwin, we showed off Erwin's amazing sketch cards. Last week he had the pencils done. We talked about how this one kind of reminded us a little bit of Art Adams, but he's added some colors and finished these off too. So
beautiful.
These are great. I love these. Erwin,
so good.
Killed it.
They're like corner boxes.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. And then shout out to I don't know how you want me to pronounce this, but Kinetsius is how I'm going to take a stab at it. This is their rendition of TMNT. They're asking you to ignore Donatello's placement. Just think College Humor's joke about him. LOL. I don't. It must be that no one cares about Donatello. I think that must be the joke, because Donatello's in the background.
Behind the logo, he's in the background. Yeah, I like the way he did that with the different the layers of the focus. That's really nice. And
folks, I'm highlighting these from my Discord server, the Bronze Age Nerd Discord server. The link is in the description for that as well, if you want to go check it out.
Or if you want to put art in there.
Yeah, exactly. That was the next thing I was going to say. If you want to share your own art off, show off your own art. That's what I'm trying to say.
And for those who shared some stuff with me this week, I'm sorry, I've been a little bit under the weather. I didn't get it in there, so I'll get it in next week.
I'll highlight this real fast and I'll read what Erwin said. So this is the Manglinator drawing used for promoting the figures produced by Toyfinity. The maroon sky was requested by the client as it alludes to a future release of figures. It was originally intended to be a gradient of blue to purple. These characters were designed and sculpted by me based on initial designs by Matt Dottie, who also modified some sculpting for production. That's really cool, Erwin.
That's really cool.
Nice.
Really cool.
And then I don't think we showed off this last week. I don't think we had it yet.
This is Yevgeny one. Yep.
Yeah, Yevgeny Sokolov's obviously doing a Weapon X Wolverine here.
Jesus.
So good. Oh, good.
Kenny, killing it, buddy.
Oh. And then
Poor Donnie, the Forgotten Turtle.
saw some of these sketch cards here. And then I want to show, we ran into one of my high school and middle school friends at Frankenstein Comic Swap. And I got to catch up with him a little bit, which is really fun. I didn't expect to run into him there last week when we did that. And then he shared, his name's Sam Staples, and he shared some of his art that I think this is basically just from his, I think he said it was like DeviantArt or something, like puts out this little profile page. But he did some really cool stuff on here that I wanted to just kind of show off real quickly. He did a DC tryout, so he has some stuff here from his DC Comics tryout here. This was based on a script by Jeff Johns from Superman Secret Origin. And I mean, he just did a great job. Like, it's one thing to draw a really cool picture, which is hard to do. It's another to tell a sequential story and
Right.
really, sell that. I know like Big B has done this before with some sequential Batman art, as well as some other stuff too that I highly recommend checking out. But this is really cool. You see break into the X-ray vision. That's just neat to me. So shout out to my friend Sam who did this. Let me see here. Little Northwest action here from an original story.
The Astoria Tower.
Yeah, from Astoria. And I'm just kind of quickly going through it because there's a lot on this website I could kind of go through, but he just told some really, really cool stuff. What is this one? This piece was called Brilliant by comics legend Christopher Priest, annotated and signed by Priest himself. That's cool. So just shout out to him, and that's really awesome.
Yeah,
and
it was
then,
really cool to meet him.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where I haven't talked to him in 25 years. Yeah, there's some Smallville references in there too. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that was totally a Smallville story he was doing.
Yeah. Yep. Some stuff there, dating in LA. Just really neat.
I like that Cthulhu one there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. For people who want to see some more comic book stuff, there's a Wolverine. Very cool. Couple different finishing styles there. Little cartoonist kayfabe. That's cool. Nice. So, Profit. That's cool. Right on. Well, hey, I just wanted to make sure I had a chance to spotlight that. So yeah, we're gonna have lots more community art that we're gonna show off next week. Again, if you want to have your community art featured on the show, make sure you send it in through the Discord server, or you can send it to myself or to Big Me McFly. And then thanks to everybody who has checked out the latest episode we had on the Frankenstein Comic Swap on the channel. Did you get that link to work to share it out on your channel?
I tried. I'm gonna try it again now that I'm on the desktop, but I can't get it to work from my phone.
Interesting. We tried to make it visible on both channels. There's a little like new feature that YouTube's doing that I don't know, maybe it's just having a bug or something like that right now, but we'll try to get that shared out. But definitely go check that out. The positive comments and responses have been awesome to read from the recent live shows and from those episodes. We'll have more of those come in. We have one in the bank that we're going to try to get out soon, and then more coming soon. So definitely check those out. If you have topics that you want to suggest to us, please let us know in the comments down below or in the live chats of any of our videos. Stuff you want to see us cover on our podcast format show, which is Best Coast Comics podcast, and this is the Best Coast Comics live show. Trying to give you more options and more entertainment every week. So yeah, I think that's everything I had. Do you have anything you want to make sure that you shout out before we wrap up?
I think you covered it, buddy. You got it all under control.
I know you're not feeling too good, so I'm trying to pull my weight here and do most of the talk.
Good. It's all good.
But yeah, we'll catch you in the next episode. Everybody, thanks for being a part of this one. Thanks to our guest Carl Choi from 24/7 Comics, who was in here earlier talking about the Evermind Kickstarter, which is also in the description of this video. If you want to go check that out and back that, this is a good chance to remind yourself to go do that and maybe get a chance to win some of those drawings that are going to be announced on Wednesday. And yeah, we'll catch you next week on the next episode of Best Coast Comics Live. Have a great day, everybody. Oh, actually, hold on. I got to set one thing here because it's not going to work correctly if I don't, which makes this a little awkward, but here we go.